learners, welcome to this session, Business Organization and Management, BCOC 132, Block 1, Foundation of Indian Business, Unit 1, Introduction to Business. I am Madhulika P. Sarkar, Faculty School of Management, Indira Gandhi National Open University. In our previous session, we have learned about the economic activities, non-economic activities, meaning, definition of business, concept of business and features of business. Today, we are going to discuss about the features of modern business, scope of business, differentiate between business, industry, commerce and trade. Let's start with the features of modern business. In our previous session, we have already discussed about the features of business. Now, we are discussing about the features of modern business. Features of modern business enterprises are as follows. Number 1, change. Change is the essence of the life. Every product has certain life. A growing product today will decline in the future, but the business organization are prepared to face and accept the challenge and incorporate it in their own way of working. They are operating in a dynamic environment which is constantly changing, and his change must be accepted by them. Next modern feature is bigness. Mass production and mass marketing are the buzzwords for today's business. To reap the benefits of economic of scale, business enterprises are trying to reach a new heights. Therefore, it requires a huge capital investment, mass scale of production, increasing number of workers employed, increasing scale, huge profit, large number of shareholders, huge reserve, large payment of taxes are the main features of a successful business enterprises today. Third one is globalization. In today's scenario, the modern business are no more confined to national boundaries only. Liberalization policy have allowed easy entry of foreign companies in our country, and similarly Indian company in foreign country are allowed to doing business. Therefore, free flow of capital, technology, manpower and information system are the key of successful business. Fourth is science. To be able to survive and grow in the fast changing environment, modern business are adopting scientific methods and means of production. Modern machines, scientific selection of workers, scientific methods of controlling are the main factor of contributing to growth of the business enterprises. Second modern feature is information. Information is the key of any successful business. Receiving and giving information related to internal and external environment of the business organization is an important feature of modern business. Highly developed management information system and computers are important contribution to fast and easy access of business information. Nowadays, online information is helpful for business operating at the global level. Next feature is a government interference. The government interference plays an important role in the development of any business house. Import restrictions, limits on foreign investment, double taxation agreements and national tax law are some of the ways in which government control the working of business houses in the national and international market. Let us see the scope of business, or we can say classification of business activity. Business include all those activity which are concerned with the production of goods and services and their distribution to the customers who require them. Business activities may be classified into two broad categories like industry and commerce. Industry can be subdivided into four parts: extractive industry, genetic industry, construction industry, manufacturing industry. Next is the commerce. Commerce can also be divided into two parts. One is trade and another is auxiliaries to trade. Let's start with the industry. The term industry to such activities as extraction, production, conversion, processing or fabrication of product. The output of an industry may be used by final consumers or by another industry for further production. In the first case, the production is called consumer's good, like garment industry, sugar industry, shoes industry, toiletries, bread and butter industry, etc. It is called industries producing consumer's good. And in second case, it is called producer's good or capital goods, like machine building and machine tools box are capital goods industry. There is one more type of industry which are certain product called intermediate goods, like copper, aluminium, stainless steel, plastic, tin, etc. Now, industry E is to be classified into different types. So, types of industry. Based on the nature of industrial activity, industry may be classified into two groups, like primary industry and secondary industry. Primary industry is concerned with obtaining, multiplying or making available materials provided by nature. On the other hand, secondary industry is concerned with transforming the methods provided by primary industry into product more directly useful for the satisfaction of human need. Primary industry may be either extractive or genetic, but secondary industry may be either manufacturing or construction. These four broad category of industries are as follows. Number 1 is extractive industry. In extractive industries, these industries extract, draw out or raise their products from the earth, water or air. Though in some cases such product may be used directly for consumption. In most cases, the product of extractive industry are used by manufacturing and construction industry for producing finished goods. For example, agriculture, forestation, mining, fishing, etc. are the some of the example of extractive industries. Then genetic industry. The example of genetic industry are poultry, cattle breeding, sapling, etc. These industries are engaged in breeding and multiplying certain species of plant and animals. Then manufacturing industry. In ordinary word, the term industry is used to refer to manufacturing industry. These industries are engaged in the creation of in form of utility, conversion or transformation of few materials or semi-finished product into finished product like cotton, textile, sugar, machine building, cement, etc. are a few examples of manufacturing industries. These products, which are used as a raw material by manufacturing industry, are generally in the finished product or extractive industry. Manufacturing industries may be subdivided into 4 different categories. Is analytical. As the name suggests, in this industry, a number of products are manufactured by analyzing, separating different elements of the same basic material. Like petroleum industry is one of the example of such industry, wherein the crude oil which is extracted from beneath of the earth is processed and separated into petrol, kerosene, gasoline, diesel, etc. Then synthetic. In synthetic industry, two or more ingredients are put together in the manufacturing process as to obtain a new product. Industries manufacturing like cement, fertilizer, medicines, chemical, cosmetics and toiletries, etc. belongs to the synthetic industry group. Next is processing. The industries which process raw material through different stages of production to obtain a new product. Industry manufacturing cement, fertilizer, medicine, chemical, cosmetics and toiletries, etc. belong to synthetic industry group. Assembly line industry. In such industry, different components of a product already manufactured as assembled to turn out a new product. What components should be manufactured internally and what are to be acquired from the market is a decision to be taken by the assembly line unit itself. The example of assembly line products are automobiles, watches, radios, television, camera, video, railway wagons and engine, ships, etc. are the examples of the assembly line industry. Construction industry. The industry engaged in the construction of building, dam, canals, bridge, road, etc. are called construction industries. These industries differ from other industry into two ways. Firstly, the product of construction industry are not taken to the market from sale as done in the case of the other industry. Heavy industry. The term heavy industry is generally used to refer to those industries which call for the big capital investment and have a longer production cycle. Such investment goes mostly into machinery and equipment of sophisticated and expensive type. Industries like iron and steel, aeronautics, shipbuilding and aluminium are included in this category. Light industries. Light industry are those which involve a comparative smaller capital investment and have a short duration production cycle. This may be because of the less costly machinery required for the manufacturer of certain types of products or because of use of less sophisticated process of production. Industries are also classified as a large scale and a small scale according to their capital employed, number of workers employed, materials, tools used and volumes or value of output produced over certain period, or because of use of less sophisticated process of production. For the purpose of government assistance, a small scale industry is defined as an industry involving a capital outlay of not more than rupees 10 lakh in plants and machineries. Second term is commerce. It is a very wide term as industry is concerned with the production of goods for the satisfaction of human wants, but commerce is an activity whereby goods are transferred to those who need them. It is an organized system for the exchange of goods between the members of the industrial world. It establishes the necessary link between producers and consumers, and these embraces all those functions which are essential for maintaining a free and uninterrupted flow of goods and services between them. But there are some hindrances which can be taken care. These hindrances are as follows. First, hindrance of person. The basic problem of producer is to find person who will be interested in picking up for a fair price whatever has been produced by them. Commerce is primarily concerned with the establishment of contracts between producers and sellers through trade. Trade on local and international market may be, therefore, it is regarded as the core commerce. Next, hindrance of exchange. The goods produced by various industries are exchanged by them for money. Dealing in goods will naturally involve the question of the time and place of payment. When is the money to be paid and how or in what form is to be paid will most important question to be settled before transaction in the goods can be completed or transferred to the right person. Commerce makes exchange of goods or services possible by removing these hindrances and solving these problems through the agency of banks and other financial institutions. Banking should be an important function of commerce and bank are the most essential commercial financial institution. Next hindrance is hindrances of place. Producer and consumers are generally separated by varying distances. Commerce being concerned with establishing a contract between them naturally involves arranging for the transport of goods from the production end to the competition ends, but proper arrangement have to be made to cover the risk to which goods are exposed while in transit. Beside proper packing will also have to be arranged to products against possibilities of damages. Another hindrance is the hindrance of time. It's a very important point. Production and consumption are particularly in the modern time is separated not only by long distance but also by varying intervals of time. Since goods are produced in anticipation of demand, it becomes necessary to make suitable arrangement for their storage so that they can be made available as and when needed by the consumer. For this reason, warehousing is recognized as an important function of commerce. Agencies and institutions operating warehouses are commercial undertakings which form an integral part of the network or modern commerce. Hindrance of knowledge. Exchange of goods, which is the central function of commerce, can be performed well when only if the producers have opportunity of bringing their products to the notice of potential customer or right customer. This requires the proper organization of advertising, publicity and selling campaigns. Therefore, advertising and publicity can also be included one of the most important function of the commerce. Next is trade. We have already learned about industry, and the scope of business is one is industry and another part is trade. So now we will learn about trade. From the above description of commerce, it is clear that trade is one of the important part of commerce. Trade refer to the safe transfer or exchange of goods. In secondary meaning, it is repeated activity in the nature of business carried on with a profit motive. Types of trade. Trade may be classified broadly into two groups: internal trade and international trade. Internal trade is also called home trade. This consists in the sale and exchange of goods within the boundaries of a nation. Payments for such sale are made in national currency directly or through the national banking system, and the internal transportation system is utilized for the movement of goods. Internal or home trade may be conducted on either of the following bases. There are two bases. Number one is the wholesale trade. Number two is a retail trade. In wholesale trade, this involves the sales of goods in comparatively large quantity to those traders who are in direct contact with the consumer. It serves as a link between the producers or manufacturers and the retailer trader who sells direct to the consumers. In retailer trader, this type of trade consists in the supply of the requirement of the consumer in the small quantity needed by them. It provides the link between the wholesaler and the consumers. International or foreign trade. This refers to the supply of goods to buyer located in the foreign countries. When goods are moved from one country to another, payment have to be converted into the currency of the other country, and means of international transport have to be used. Such trade is conducted mostly on the wholesale basis. Foreign trade may be further divided into three parts: import trade, which consists the procuring of foreign goods for home use; export trade, which consists in the supply of home goods for foreign use. Number 3 is interport trade, which affects the exchange of goods between foreign producers and foreign consumers. The next part of trade is auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries to trade means the additional services or allied services that facilitate trade. They help in smooth exchange of goods between producers and consumer. These trades are transportation banking, insurance of product, warehousing, advertising and publicity, and packaging. Now, is there any difference between industry trade and commerce? Let's see what is the difference between the industry trade and commerce. The basis of differences, meaning in industry means creation of utility, whereas trade means purchase and sale of goods and sale of goods of services. In commerce, it includes trade as well as other activity which facilitate industry and trade. Scope. In industry, it covers extractive, genetic, manufacturing and construction industry, whereas in trade, its scope is limited as include purchase and sale of goods and services only. In commerce, it includes trade as well as auxiliaries to trade. Origin. Industrial growth is the result of industrial revolution during the mid-18th. In trade, barter economic has given inputs to trade. Commerce. Development in trade gave rise to the development of commerce. Mutual dependence. Industrial growth is the dependent on developed trade and commerce, yet is possessed as. Trade constitute a common foundation stone of industry and commerce. In commerce, development in trade gave rise to the development of commerce. I hope now it is clear to all of you to understand the features of modern business, scope of business, and differentiate between trade, industry and commerce. Thank you.